All right. So if you are a staffing company, recruitment company, or a recruiter, this is going to be extremely useful because what I'm going to show you in this video is how we can automate outreach to companies that have just posted a job ad. So let me show you what I mean, right? So basically, with this workflow, what we're going to do is we're going to scrape companies on a daily basis who posted a job opening, and then we're going to reach out to them automatically the same day they posted the job ad. So what most of your competitors are doing, and the reason why this makes you stand out, it makes you get better results than your competitors, is that what most of your competitors are doing is they're doing either manual outreach to these companies, and therefore automating the entire workflow is going to give you huge benefits in terms of cost effectiveness and efficiency as well. Or what they're doing, they are using a platform, a list building tool like Apollo.io or Seamless or ZoomInfo to scrape a bunch of companies that post the job ad in the last 30 to 90 days, and they are reaching out to those companies after already 100 of those competitors, 100 of those recruiters have already reached out. So there's precisely very little chance they're going to be able to get that job and close that deal. So or either other option is that they're not even running this workflow, and therefore they could be missing out on a ton of potential leads and deals. So let me show you how this workflow works and what this looks like. So first of all, we're going to scrape Indeed job posts, or we can even do it from LinkedIn. Same concept, same thing on a daily basis, right? So that means that every day we're going to scrape new jobs that have been posted the same day, right? And then we're going to scrape company data about these jobs, about those companies that posted these jobs. And then we're going to pre-qualify the companies, right? So what I mean by this is if you have a specific ICP, maybe you only want to work with, I don't know, marketing companies, right? We can pre-qualify based on that. Or most importantly, if you are a recruitment company, you probably don't want to reach out to other recruiters and other staffing companies. So what we're going to be able to do here is we're going to exclude those staffing companies and those staffing agencies. After that, after we have our account list, we're going to find relevant contacts at those companies, right? Say the company is very small, we're going to reach out to the founder. Say the company is large, has over 500 employees, we're going to reach out to the HR manager or whoever the relevant title or contact at that company is. And then after that, the last step is adding those contacts to an automated outreach campaign using a cold email sequencer, right? This, everything, all of this workflow is going to be done on a daily basis. So as you can see, we scrape the jobs and then find the companies, pre-qualified companies, find relevant contacts with companies, and then reach out to these contacts the same day. So this is going to be extremely relevant outreach and is going to get you pretty good results. So let me show you what the workflow looks like in practice because we're going to use clay.com to run this entire workflow. So let me make myself a little smaller here and let me show you what I mean. So the first table is the table where we scrape the job posts on a daily basis. As you can see here, we're doing through webbook, and this essentially are all the job posts that we scraped on 21st of February. And then these are all the jobs that we scraped on 24th of February. What we get here is all the data about these companies. So they posted jobs. So we've got a company name here, date posted, as you can see, job URL, company URL, role title, which is essentially the title they're looking for, and then location, and then ID. This doesn't really matter. So, and then if we go here, job URL, this is literally the job URL on Indeed of that job post specifically. Then what we would do here is since we didn't have the website of these companies, in the job post, what we do is we find the website based on the company name and based on the job company URL on Indeed. So we're going to use something called Clayagent, which is essentially an agent or an AI agent that can browse the website or browse the internet and then find some things on the internet. In this case, it's going to be a website. So we're going to be able to retrieve the website from the data we have here. And then this is essentially the column with all the websites. Now, there are a couple of instances where this doesn't run. So, for example, of course, if the company name is empty, this is not going to run, which makes sense. And then staffing company, right? This column, basically what we do, what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that this company is not a staffing company in the first place, right? Because if it is, then guess what? We're not going to reach out to them. It wouldn't make any sense. So as you can see, some of these companies, it says true, they are staffing agencies or staffing companies, and therefore the entire workflow, for example, for this one, is not going to run anymore. As you can see, run condition not met in all of the other columns means that we're not going to run all the other columns simply because this company is apparently a staffing company, so we don't want to reach out to them. Then what we do here is we normalize the job title, right? So of course, if you get something like this, like a role title here, senior software developer, and then all of these things in brackets, and then hybrid, right? Because we want to mention that in the cold emails that we're going to send to these companies, this company specifically who posted the job ad, what we're going to do is, of course, we cannot, and we're going to mention this because it's going to be extremely relevant if we say, hey, I saw that today you posted a job ad for a software developer, right? Now, of course, we can say, hey, I saw that today you posted a job ad for a senior or SR software developer, ASP.NET C, right, hybrid, right, that sort of stuff. That would look extremely weird, and of course, I would understand it's automated and looks weird, right? So we want to normalize that job title, and we want to normalize it into something like this. Now, let me see here. Of course, this was a staffing company, so we didn't run the workflow. But let me show you another example, if we can show you here. So Blazor Web Assembly Developer Remote. What we do here, again, staffing company. Let me see here if I got another one. Mid-level full stack engineer, maybe this one. Yeah, there we go. So mid-level full stack engineer, and this ID, sort of ID, I don't know what it means. Basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to normalize it into full stack engineer, right? And also we put the title in lowercase because it's going to sound, it's going to look more natural, more casual when you send it in an email, right? So we do it from using this column right here, which is essentially an AI prompt that normalizes the title for the job post. And then here, what we do is we normalize the company name, right? Now, there are some instances where the company name is going to have, for example, company name LLC or company name limited, right? In that case, we, of course, don't want to mention that in the email. We want to mention the company name clean, right? So without the acronyms, LLCs, limited, stuff like that. So we're cleaning the company name in this case right here. And then what we do here, these columns are all for finding contacts at those companies, right? There are different columns here because we are scraping different titles at the companies based on the employee head count. So, for example, here we're finding contacts for companies with between 2 and 50 employees, and here between 51 and 200, and so on and so forth, right? Now, the reason why we do this is because we don't want to reach out to the founder of a company that has 500 employees, right? They will never respond. Or the CEO, they will never respond, and they are not the relevant contact at that company. So what we do is we essentially just find and search for different titles based on the employee account of that company. Then what we do here is we write all the data to another table. So what that means is we essentially write all of these data, we send all of these data to another lead list, right? Now, keep in mind, we've got two tables in this workflow, this one and this one right here. And so the first table is the job post table, right? Now we're going to have a unique job post and a unique company for each of these rows. And then the second table is going to be the lead table, where we're going to have a unique lead, a unique contact for each of those rows, for each of the rows, right? So this is important because if we were to run all of the enrichments, all of these things at the contact level, so for every contact, we would be wasting a ton of money, a ton of credits of this platform because maybe 5 contacts are at the same company, and therefore the company website, staffing company enrichment, normalization of job title, normalization of company name, those would all be the same thing because it's the same company for 5 different contacts. So what we're doing here is we are using 2 different tables to decrease the spend of credits and money on API keys and essentially make it cheaper to run, right? So then what we do here, as I said, is we write everything to this other table, which is going to be the lead table. As you can see, we've got different contacts in here. We don't have different companies anymore, but we have different contacts. And all of these, contacts might be working at the same companies, as you can see here. We can find contacts at the same company here. And then, 3 contacts at the same company, as you can see here. So it makes sense, right? And then after that, what we do is we find the email of those contacts. Super important because otherwise, if we don't have a valid email to reach out to for all of these contacts, we're not going to be able to reach out to them in the first place via cold email, right? So what we do here is we use an email finder tool to find their email address, make sure it is valid, it is a valid email address. And then last thing that we do, last enrichment, since we are actually mentioning a plural version of the job title that this company is hiring for, we're gonna do this enrichment with GPT, essentially creating a plural version of the job title. What we are sending in the campaign is, and the reason why we do this enrichment is essentially we're gonna say this, right? Hey, first name, I noticed your SDR job opening that you posted today or something like that. And then I have an SDR that's a perfect candidate for your job post and has been vetted by other SDRs on my team, right? So that's why we create this plural version of the job title or the job opening, right? And then last thing is we add the lead to a campaign and instantly. As you can see, this is a cold email sequencer or the sending software that you're going to use to send out emails to your prospects. And so what we do here is we are adding the lead to the campaign with all of these custom fields, right? So this is the workflow. Hopefully that was valuable. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. If you'd be interested in creating a workflow like this for your staffing company or your recruitment company, then let me know. Feel free to book a call with the first link in the description below. That being said, no worries if you're not interested. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.